everyone, it's Kristen Redman, and today we're going to go over the planetary aspects that are surrounding us and making major impacts on us in this very astrologically important week of August 6th through the 13th. And I'm actually going to extend that one day because my birthday's on the 14th, so we're going to just make this week extra long because it all kind of ties in together as we go into this really important time frame over the next couple of weeks of the Leo eclipses. The Leo eclipses are a massively important time, and I've been talking about this for almost a year now. How these eclipses are really bringing forth the new beginnings that we've been looking forward to. Now that time has come. It's really interesting because at the beginning of this year, the universe kind of gave us a wake-up call in February as the first part of the 2017 eclipses occurred. 2017 is the year of new beginnings. 2016 was a year of endings. So we find that in 2016 some events happened that really changed things for us. The whole fabric of how we see things, how we do things, how we live, how the world sees us, those things began to crumble. All different scales for people. Some people is very little, some people is very large, right? But no matter what, there were some major endings that were instigated, especially towards the end of last year, as we entered into the 9/9 gateway in September 9th, which was all about endings, right? Things that we let go in that time frame were meant to be, because they're going to bring through something even better, especially in terms of relationships, right? But here we are, we go into February this year, and in that time frame that was the first part of the 2017 year of new beginnings cycle that happened. First part of February, ending of February, February 25th to be exact. Wake up call from the universe, right? Saying this is an event that's going to happen that's going to show you exactly what needs to change so more happiness can come into your life so that you can live in this more fulfilled purpose, right? Then here we go into the second half of these eclipses. These are major eclipses that we're dealing with. Eclipses, of course, in astrology are going to represent where wonderful new beginnings happen, where the past is shadowed, and we begin to focus on the sun, how it's illuminating on the future, and how it's better fitting for us, who we are now. Not who we were last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or 20 years ago even. The eclipses bring through new beginnings so that we can live in our purpose now. A little bit different though, this one. This is a really powerful one that we're going into now, because this has to do with Leo. Leo is about living confidently in your purpose with your specific special gifts and having the courage to go out there and say, yes, world, I am an astrologer, or I am a dog groomer, or whatever it is, you name it, whatever your soul is here to do. Maybe it was something you necessarily were scared to admit to the world that you had these gifts before, but now you're ready to bring it out into the open. Maybe you have been. Now the universe is going to start rewarding you as you go into this next 2-week cycle where these eclipses happen. But before we get there, it's kind of like we have to wade through a little bit of muck, right, to get there. And that's what this is all about. It's been shaking and shifting and changing the way we've been feeling on a physical level over the past couple of weeks as we entered into what is known as the Lions Gateway. Okay, this started on 7/26, so this was July 26th, and it goes through up until just before my birthday on August 12th. That's when this portal closes. The Lionsgate portal is what they call that. And it's interesting because in that time frame, we start getting a heavy dose of information downloaded to us as we sleep. Our unconscious mind is filtering through these things as we sleep, bringing through information of previous lifetimes, connections that we had with people in these lifetimes, and how those relationships are shifting and changing now in this lifetime. Maybe we're meeting these people again. Maybe our soul is getting ready to meet these people again. Maybe our soul is getting ready to let go of people that no longer serve its purpose. Maybe that soul contract has ended with somebody at this time frame. Whatever that is, Our body is getting ready on a subconscious level as we sleep, right? The brain does like what, 92% of it's working on an unconscious level. How crazy is that to think? So just keep that in mind as your body feels exhausted, as you feel sick to your stomach, as you feel all sorts of out of sorts, right? It's because there is some major shifting that's happening on your energetic field as well as that of the earth. And that all happens because of this Lionsgate portal that we are in. When the sun, planet Earth, and the beautiful star Sirius align in the sky for this 2 weeks out of the year. And it's known as, this happens every year when this Lionsgate portal opens, but it's a powerful time frame. This is when spiritual awakenings happen. The ancients believed, especially in Egypt, that Sirius was where we all originate from. That's where the soul goes to when it passes on. We cross that river of Thames, eh? And when we get there, this is where all of the beautiful knowledge, all of that esoteric knowledge derives from. We are full and complete when we are there in Sirius, right? So they say that as the sun shifts into this world and where it's at, in conjunction with the earth, it opens up this alignment for the sun and Sirius to take on the same energy. Sirius is probably the brightest star that is out there. It's much bigger than our sun. So you look out there in the sky and you see this crazy bright one. It's the second sun that's in the entire universe because it's so bright. So it's almost like the two suns that are out there, our spiritual sun and the sun that guides and sustains our physical bodies on this earth, they align. Our spiritual know-how and our physical know-how become one. And as that portal opens in 2 weeks out of the year, we are extremely astute. We are very wise to the shifts and the changes that are happening. And this one especially, because we've got these powerful eclipses that are happening in that time frame as well. It's starting as we go into the lunar eclipse portion of it, and full moon that happens tomorrow on the 7th. And it's in the axis of Leo, the lion, right, and Aquarius. That's where the moon is going to be at. A little bit more of astrology here. We've got the essence and energy of Leo the lion. That's where the sun is at. Pushing us to be in our life purpose. Pushing us to be at levels where we are happiest. Letting go of things that we need to is what Aquarius is going to be focused on, because it knows where to cut the fat. Aquarius knows where to draw the line and say, this no longer works for you. I need to free you from these things because they've become chains. Things that used to be responsibilities or obligations or things that we were happy being with have shifted and changed. And Aquarius is ready to let go of that. And as we go into this very, very powerful 2 weeks leading up to the solar eclipse that happens on the 21st, we're all feeling these shifts. Right? We've been called to make changes, big changes, small changes, whatever it is, ways to reinvent our lives this year in 2017, because this is the year of new beginnings, right? There's no more staying stagnant. There's no more living in the norm. There's no more doing the status quo. And if you've been lacking the courage to do it, this is where the universe is giving you those wake-up calls. If you still haven't found that courage of the lion, Leo, deep within you, the universe is going to force it to happen on you in this week. And I'm not saying like the clouds are going to part and everything's going to fall apart on you. It's not like that. It's going to give you that confidence, or it's going to give you the obvious answer that you're looking for. It's going to shake things up. Clearing out the muck to transform us. Shaking things up and making those changes. That's what the universe is going to do, and sometimes it's going to push you out of those comfort zones that you put yourself in, right? It's the thing. Lunar eclipses and full moons happen at the same time, right? When the sun and the moon are in complete opposition of one another and the moon is fully illuminated. The moon usually represents what is hidden from us, and is that Leo sun of truth and loyalty and honor and courage, shines its light on all those things that are hidden. Our inner lion comes out. right? And it has been. It's been leading up over the past couple of weeks. You've been finding yourself in arguments, having to stand your ground, having to say, this is what I know to be right. You're going to hear me roar, right? That's what's been happening over the past couple of weeks. And it's leading up. And the universe is saying that it's time to let go of things that maybe you haven't had that courage yet to do. And I'm going to do it for you if you don't. And the thing is, if something does pop up in this time frame that you are to let go of, take it as a beautiful sign from the universe, because there are shifts and changes for your personal growth that haven't occurred on these levels. So this is your personal purpose, not your family, not your kids, not your spouse, not your coworkers. You. Has not happened for your energy since 1999 and then previously in 1979. Think about that. Where were you in terms of personal growth in those years? It's back again. It's back again now. It's not focused on you from 20 years ago. It's not focused on you from 40 years ago. It's not focused on you from a year ago. It's focused on where your soul has evolved to now, and where your gifts and your divinely guided purpose is meant to take your soul in this lifetime. We're getting there. We're all evolving. The earth is evolving, and its energetic levels are shifting and changing to accommodate this, because there's so much good and change that comes. But with the good and the change, all these wonderful things that happen, horrific growing pains have to happen too, right? The muck has to rise to the surface in order for that to be skimmed off, for the transformational light of change to happen. All of the darkness and the dark has to come out, and the yuck and the muck all has to come to the surface first, right? So we know what has to go. We know what fat has to be cut, and that's where Aquarius and this full moon is coming tomorrow. Full moons and lunar eclipses, which represent endings. They represent letting go. What do you need to let go of? You know what you need to let go of. My goodness gracious, you've had nothing but signs and intuitive knowledge telling you what you need to do. Trust in yourself. That's the main lesson that comes from this first part of the solar eclipse cycle. Major beginnings, new beginnings that are waiting you, my beautiful friend, huh? The universe has heard you calling out, saying, man, I need some change. I need some guidance, God. Give me some guidance. It's heard you, and it's bringing it, right? You just have to have that courage to be you and listen and to hear and not expect the answer to come from someone else. Isn't that what we think? Some other person's going to have the answer for our lives. This eclipse cycle, especially in this week, is telling us ain't nobody got the answers except for you, because this is your mission. This is your purpose. The reason why you haven't gotten the answer is because you haven't gone within enough. And this week is going to have you going within. Because though we have the sun fully illuminating and shining all those hidden areas, bringing things to the surface for us this week, it's also illuminating our own special knowledge that we have through our intuition. It's fully illuminating and firing our intuition on all cylinders. So you want to get that guidance, go within, right? Stop looking to others for that guidance, huh? Because they ain't going to have it. You know, we can give you help, right? People like me that can look at your chart and say, this is where these things are making impacts. Of course, we can help give you guideposts. We can give you affirmations. But there's nothing that's going to give you the true answer than if you follow your own intuition and where it's telling you to go, right? Main thing is go within instead of trying to not only hope that others are going to give you the answers that you need to move forward, but it's also giving them the power to live up to their expectations for what they expect you to do with your life. Okay? No matter what, if there's something you have to let go of in this time frame, and it ain't going to be small, right? There's big things that are shifting and changing. Know that the universe supports you. Know that the universe is guiding you. And as we go into this solar eclipse, I think I'm going to do a video that's just solely about the solar eclipse too, coming up because this is so powerful. We haven't seen this. This happens on August 21st. This is where those new beginnings really take form. Okay? But right now, we're still breaking down the barriers. And that's where this Aquarius full moon is bringing it into us. So I would suggest, my wonderful friends, to get yourself out into that beautiful moonlight tomorrow, especially on 8/8, because that's when that Lionsgate portal is at its zenith. It is at its most powerful on 8/8. How cool is that? Numerology-wise, when a number repeats itself, its energy is amplified. So when we have a number 8 amplified on itself to 88, that is when we are at our strongest. It represents infinity. Think of that, 8. It's the cycle that goes and it goes and it doesn't stop. It's the infinity. It's that energy that is created and never destroyed. It's our powerful, divine connection with God, the true essence of God that we have access to anytime we need it. We just have to trust that the guidance we're getting is correct, right? It's about rebirth. 8 is about abundance that comes through transformation of loss, the 8th house in astrology. The transformations occur in this life, the endings that we go through. And that's exactly what it is, death and rebirth, right? That's what 8 represents. And it represents the higher realms, not only of that subconscious mind that's pushing us and giving us all these weird physical signs, right, in the past week leading up to it. But it's the higher realms of knowledge, that esoteric knowledge that's guiding us from lifetimes past. All of these things we accrued in these lifetimes past, moving into the future now so we can utilize and sow all of our gifts from lifetimes past into this one now so we can live more purposefully in our divine mission now, right? 8/8, strong time frame to get out there. So, yes. The soul has a higher calling, and this year it's calling on us all. The earth needs us in so many ways, doesn't it? And we all are aware of that. Let's let go. Let's let go and let's heal from those things of the past. Let's release and let's make room for the change that is to come. Right? And it's all really going to be showing itself in the next 2 weeks. There's in so many ways. So, another thing, too, that is beautiful in this time frame is that Mercury, the planet of the mind, is going to be going retrograde on 8/12. Okay, that's when that portal closes. How ironic is that, right? We get all of this intuitive knowledge that comes through. And Mercury represents the physical mind, not the higher mind, but the physical lower mind, the day-to-day thing, our analyzing, our comprehension. All of that comes from Mercury. And when it goes retrograde, it kind of goes backwards, right? We don't necessarily rely on all of that so much. We kind of go within a little bit more. We go offline. It's a chance for us to reinvent. It's a time for us to reassess where we've been at. It's a time to make lists. It's a time to change. Not necessarily put that change forth, but it's a time to really look at things from a different perspective. Mercury is going to be retrograde and in the sign of Virgo for 3 weeks, okay? But it's going to be stuck in that sign of Virgo over the next, several weeks, okay? This is a long time. The planet of the mind is in that analytical sign of Virgo, and it's going to be there until October, beginning part of October. So that gives us a sign from the universe. This is where we're going to be really being called on to analyze with a fine-tooth comb and really get nitpicky about some things. Okay, what do we need to really, really sluice out, right? What do we got to let go of? It's a time when we're focused on our work in general, whether it's our divine life mission or the daily work that we do. Our mind is going to be very much reassessing what it is that we do, how we do it, how we make our money doing it as well. Okay, and it's also about that give and take balance that we have. Virgo is the hardest working of all the signs, and because it's such a hard worker, it gets taken advantage of, right? Those things are going to be called into question too over the next several weeks as Mercury retrogrades for 3 weeks, having us look to the past for these areas where these things have happened and how to change that moving forward. So we're not giving so much and not really taking as much or getting as much in return. Now, another thing that Virgo is very focused on is health in the body. So you'll be finding that your mindset is a little bit more focused on those two as well. Maybe reassessing plans for a better health regimen moving forward, taking better care of this body that you got here, making sure that it can live in that divine purpose that God has set it here to do. So, I try to do this video so many times and I can't get it less than 20 minutes. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but there's just so much. I mean, I've been talking about this for a year. This is the time. This is where the change really begins. And I know you're all feeling it. I know you feel these shifts and this uncertainty and this fear and this happiness and all these weird feelings wrapped up into one. It's because there's so much coming in the next 2 weeks. Let's go and ask our guides right now. Let's ask those angels that surround us right now in this massive time of transformation and change and see what their advice is, right? As we get ourselves out in that portal. That Lionsgate portal, helping us live in our divine mission. What angel's with us today here? Feel it. Isn't that the... How funny is that? Okay, so I brought out this amazing quartz earlier, right? Quartz, of course, is Leo energy. It's Archangel Raziel, the angel of the rainbow, the angel of Leo, the angel of confidence and magic that we create on our own, right? Accessing those old banks of memories and knowledges from past so that we can utilize it for where we're at now, right? That's what he does. Angel of dreams. He helps us to dream bigger. He's the angel that helps us while we dream as well. But he helps us to dream bigger in life, too, so that we don't stay stuck in those areas where we just don't fit anymore, right? And that's what we're breaking through in these eclipses. He's the angel of these Leo eclipses. So I brought this out just to hold, right, as I do this reading. And what are the odds, right? As I pull a stone, look what else I pull. Another clear quartz. Raziel is the angel around us this week, the angel that helps us magically change any situation in our lives as long as we follow that intuition. He is whispering to us in our dreams and in our waking daydreams and in our nudges of internal guidance, right? Let's see what his message is to us this week. I'm going to just separate this guy into 5 piles. And I'm going to shuffle it 5 times because 5 rules 5th house, Leo, and the astrology wheel. Okay? 5, of course, being of happiness, children, all the things focused on bringing us true joy in this life. And that's what 2017 is. The year of finding that happiness. Isn't that something? Okay, what are the odds, right? 5. He's around today. It's about knowing the spiritual networks that are around you is what this card represents. It's about using your logic, right? Following a little bit of what you traditionally feel that you need to do, but also following what your spiritual network is telling you that you should also be doing as well. It's about finding these people that can help you, getting into new networks, getting into new areas. And then I'm going to pull this card as well with it too, because I feel like they're telling me there's more to it. And of course, it's the Queen of Fire, which I love this card too, because it's about using your ingenuity, your creativity, your fire, stretching your wings and flying and not being afraid, being confident in the decisions that you make, being that bird that needs to fly, right? Independence. Don't underestimate yourself is what it's saying. Assert your independence and your creativity and know that the universe is going to support you as long as you are doing that. Okay? Let's pull another card too this week. A little bit of extra just to get... I know that they're telling us there's a lot. It's funny too because we have 5 planets retrograde too at the time of this eclipse cycle. 5 is very powerful. You know what 5 represents in numerology is change. 5 in tarot represents difficulty. It represents the most difficult aspects that we have in anything. And I think a lot of what they're telling me through this is the difficulty lies in giving our power away to others, giving our choices away to others, and leaving that up to them because we don't want to disappoint them. Don't underestimate yourself, is what I feel. Being told. One more card. Ooh, I can feel it in my heart. Big one. Renewal. How true. I've got these same exact flowers planted out front right now, right? This card is representative with a beautiful full moon behind it. Isn't that amazing where we're at? We're leaving the past behind to go into the future of brightness, joy, right? Don't underestimate yourself, because that's where the renewal happens, right? Let's do that this week, everybody, huh? Follow what your heart's telling you. Get out in that moon and listen to what it has to tell you. Those pushes for freedom and independence and change, it's not selfishness coming through. It's the universe trying to get your authentic self to come out. Listen, okay, right? Because that's what's going to happen. It's the rebirth and the renewal. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Have a